Our topic for this video is Interpleader, and that is your Rule 62. Upon checking the bar exam coverage, when it comes to interpleader, sabi doon, study only the jurisdiction and venue, the requisites for interpleader, when to file, and dismissal. So we'll start with the jurisdiction and venue. Sino ba ang may jurisdiction if you are going to file an action for interpleader? Answer, it depends. Because if the subject matter of the interpleader is a personal property, there are two things that you have to remember. And that is the amount of 300,000 and 400,000. Bakit? Because if the value of the personal property exceeds 300,000 outside of Metro Manila, then RTC has the jurisdiction. How about if the value of the personal property exceeds 400,000 within Metro Manila? Again, RTC has the jurisdiction. Si MTC, kailan siya papasok? If the value of the personal property does not exceed 300,000 outside of Metro Manila, MTC has the jurisdiction. If the value of the personal property does not exceed 400,000 within Metro Manila, MTC has the jurisdiction. How about if the subject matter is a real property? Ano ang kailangan tandaan pag if we are going to talk about a real property? The assessed value. Assessed value. Kung kanina ang pinatandaan ko sa inyo is the amount of 300,000 and 400,000, in this time I want you to remember the 20,000 and 50,000 assessed value. Bakit? Because if the assessed value of the real property exceeds 20,000 outside of Metro Manila or 50,000 within Metro Manila, then RTC has the jurisdiction. And if the assessed value of the real property does not exceed 20,000 outside of Metro Manila or does not exceed 50,000 within Metro Manila, then MTC has the jurisdiction. So we're done with jurisdiction. How about now the venue? Saan ang venue? Again, you have to determine whether the subject matter is a personal property or a real property. Bakit? Pag personal property, ano ang sinasabi ni Rule 4? The venue lies with the residence of the plaintiff or the residence of the defendant at the election of the plaintiff. How about if it is a real property? Venue lies where the property is located or any portion thereof is situated. Let's study this 1996 bar exam question. A lost the cashier's check she purchased from XYZ Bank. Upon being notified of the loss, XYZ Bank immediately issued a stop payment order. Here comes B trying to encash that same cashier's check, but XYZ Bank refused payment. As a precautionary measure, what remedy may XYZ Bank avail of with respect to the conflicting claims of A and B over the cashier's check? So, who are our claimants in this case? That is A and B. So, ano ang napansin nyo? There are two or more conflicting claimants. In our problem or in our question, there are only two conflicting claimants. Kanino sila may claim? Si A has a claim over the cashier's check. B also has a claim over the cashier's check. So, ano ang masasabi natin? The cashier's check is our subject matter. So, ang napansin nyo is the conflicting claims of A and B is upon the same subject matter. The conflicting claims of A and B is upon the same cashier's check. Against who are they claiming? Answer, XYZ Bank. The answer is XYZ Bank. So the conflicting claims therefore of A and B are made against the same person. In this problem, they are made against XYZ Bank. Therefore, in this case, it is XYZ Bank who will file an action. And when XYZ Bank files an action, he is our plaintiff. Ano ang masasabi nyo sa ating plaintiff? Our plaintiff has no interest or no claim upon the subject matter of the adverse claim. In this case, XYZ Bank has no interest over the cashier's check. What remedy, therefore, may XYZ Bank avail of? Answer: XYZ Bank may file a complaint. Take note ha, complaint, hindi petition. XYZ Bank may file a complaint for Interpleader so that the court may resolve the conflicting claims of A and B over the cashier's check. What is our basis? That is your Rule 62, Section 1. When is Interpleader proper? Ano ang sinasabi dyan? He may bring an action against the conflicting claimants to compel them to interplead and litigate their several claims among themselves. So to answer, therefore, the requisites for Interpleader, please take note. Number 1, there are 2 or more claimants with conflicting interest or adverse interest. Second, the conflicting claims of the claimants is upon the same subject matter. Third, the conflicting claims are made against that same person and that plaintiff has no interest upon the subject matter of the adverse claim, or if he has an interest, it is not disputed by the claimants. If you will be asked what is an action for Interpleader as what happened in 1988 bar exams, please write there the keywords. Kasi alam kong imposible naman na maisusulat nyo verbatim sa section 1 unless meron kayong photographic memory ha. But for an action for Interpleader, dapat ang makita ni examiner doon are the keywords. First, what is your keyword? That is a special civil action. Second, there are conflicting claims, and the conflicting claims are upon the same subject matter. And last is dapat makita doon ni examiner that the reason why you are bringing an action is to compel the conflicting claimants to interplead and litigate their claims among themselves. So nasagot na natin ang jurisdiction and venue as well as the requisites for Interpleader. Now we're going to answer when to file an action for Interpleader. If you are going to read the provisions of Rule 62, hindi yan nakasulat. But according to jurisprudence, you must file your action within a reasonable time after a dispute has arisen without waiting to be sued by either of the contending claimants. We'll talk now about dismissal. So can you file a motion to dismiss? Answer: yes. Each claimant may file a motion to dismiss. So ang tanong, kailan ka pwedeng mag-file ng motion to dismiss? Answer: within the time for filing an answer. What is the period? That period is 15 days. So within 15 days from the service of the summons, the claimant has 2 options, whether to file an answer or to file a motion to dismiss. If the claimant is going to file a motion to dismiss, what are the grounds? Number 1 is the impropriety of the Interpleader action, and second are the allowable grounds for a motion to dismiss. What is your basis? That is your Rule 15, Section 12. Ito na yung amended rules. So under Section 12 of your Rule 15, your motion to dismiss is a prohibited motion except if your ground is, number 1, the court has no jurisdiction over the subject matter, or there is another action pending between the same parties for the same cause, or the cause of action is barred by a prior judgment or by the statute of limitations. So again, take note, in Rule 15, Section 12A, the grounds for motion to dismiss that are allowed are the following: lack of jurisdiction over the subject matter, litispendentia, res judicata, and prescription. What is the effect if you are going to file a motion to dismiss? Answer: the period to file the answer shall be told, meaning to say it will stop the running of the period. And what is your remedy in case there is a denial of your motion to dismiss? Answer: if the motion is denied, The movant may file his answer within the remaining period, but take note that it should not be less than 5 days in any event reckoned from the notice of denial. So this is your section 4 of Rule 62. Just to give you an idea of what happens if you file an action for interpleader, of course, you start with the filing of an action for interpleader. Sinabi na natin yan, nabanggit na natin yan, and that is your section 1. After filing, the court will issue an order and there will be a service of summons. After the service of summons, the parties now have that option whether to file an answer or a motion to dismiss. And there will be a pre-trial and the court will make its determination. For your court order, the applicable section is section 2. Basahin natin si section 2. Upon the filing of the complaint, the court shall issue an order requiring the conflicting claimants to interplead with one another. What else? The court may also direct in such order that the subject matter be paid or delivered to the court. That is only if the interest of justice so require. So please take note that the court has that power to require the deposit of the thing disputed. So kung ang pinag-aawayan dyan is yung rentals, kanino ba ibabayad, the court has that power to require the deposit of the amount of the rental. So what happens after the court issues an order? There will be a service of summons. This is your section 3. Summons shall be served upon the conflicting claimants. Together with the summons is a copy of the complaint and order. After service of summons, the parties or the claimants now have that option whether to file an answer, that is your section 5, or to file a motion to dismiss as what is stated in your section 4. Na-discuss na natin si section 4. So, we'll be discussing now section 5. Just take note that if you are going to file an answer, it must be done within 15 days from the service of summons. So, we'll discuss now section 5. What are the pleadings which may be filed by the claimant? Sagot: each claimant who is a party in an action for interpleader may file his answer. His answer will set forth his claim and the answer must be filed within 15 days from the service of the summons upon him. What else? The claimant must serve a copy of his answer upon each of the other conflicting claimants. These are your co-defendants. Aside from your answer, the claimants served with an answer may also file their reply. What is the effect if you fail to file an answer within the 15-day period? The court may declare said party in default and render judgment barring him from any claim in respect to the subject matter. But take note that the court cannot do this on its own. It must be on a motion. What are the other remedies of the parties in interpleader? Answer: the parties in an interpleader action may also file their counterclaims, cross-claims, third-party complaints, and responsive pleading. So this is your section 5. There is also pre-trial, and after pre-trial is the court's determination in your action for interpleader. This is what you can read in your section 6. After the pleadings of the conflicting claimants have been filed and pre-trial has been conducted in accordance with the rules, the court shall proceed to determine the respective rights and adjudicate their several claims. Let's read section 7 para nabasa natin lahat ng provisions under your Rule 62. Section 7 is about the docket and other lawful fees, cost, and litigation expenses as lien. The docket and other lawful fees paid by the party who filed a complaint under this rule, as well as the cost and litigation expenses, shall constitute a lien or change upon the subject matter of the action unless the court shall order otherwise. Let's read this 1988 bar exam question. LTA Incorporated is the lessee of a building owned by Mr. Tenorio. They are paying a rental of 10,000 pesos a month. The owner dies on May 10, 1988, and since then, LTA Incorporated has not paid the monthly rentals, which is now amounting to 40,000 pesos, because the reason for that is there are two women who are both claiming to be the widows of Mr. Tenorio and are demanding the rental payments. So, question, what legal action may LTA's counsel take? Second question is before what court? And last question is against whom to protect LTA's interest. So as far as the first question is concerned, LTA's counsel should file a complaint for interpleader. Before what court? Again, what did we say? You have to determine whether the subject matter is a personal property or a real property. In this case, our subject matter is the 40,000 rental payment, so that is a personal property. And again, what are the amounts that you have to remember? 300,000 or 400,000. Since the amount involved here is only 40,000, it is with the MTC. And against whom you will be filing your action for interpleader against these two women who are both claiming to be the widows of Mr. Tenorio. So this is also the answer of the UP Law Center. Let me end this video through this 2012 bar question MCQ. In which of the following is interpleader improper? Choices are letter A, in an action where the defendant's claims are separate and distinct from each other. Letter B is if there is an action by a bank where the purchaser of a cashier's check claims it was lost and there is another person who presented it for payment. So parang ito yung binasa natin kaninang bar question. Letter C is in an action by a lessee who does not know where to pay rentals due to the conflicting claims on the property. Also, the same dun sa binasa natin, yung si Mr. Tenorio. And letter D is in an action by a sheriff against claimants who have conflicting claims to a property seized by the sheriff in the foreclosure of a chattel mortgage. So to answer this, again, please take note of the requisites for interpleader. Ano ang sinabi natin? That the conflicting claims is upon the same subject matter. So if the conflicting claims is upon the same subject matter, therefore, if your action where the defendant's claims are separate and distinct from each other, that is an improper interpleader. The correct answer, therefore, is your letter A. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.